Have you ever wondered if one conversation could change the destiny of an entire city? Imagine standing before God and asking him to spare thousands of people. Would you even have the courage? That's where our story begins. One hot afternoon, Abraham was sitting at the entrance of his tent in the land of Canaan. The sun was high, the day was quiet, and then suddenly he looked up and saw 3 men standing nearby. There was something unusual about them. Without hesitation, Abraham ran to meet them. He bowed low, showing deep respect, and quickly invited them to rest, eat, and refresh themselves. This wasn't just politeness, it was genuine hospitality. Abraham hurried to Sarah and said, "Quick, prepare bread." Then he chose a tender calf and had it prepared. Soon, a full meal was set before these visitors. Now here's where it gets interesting. As they ate, one of the visitors said something unexpected. "I will return to you about this time next year, and Sarah will have a son." Or Sarah was listening from inside the tent, and she laughed, not out loud, but quietly to herself. She thought, "I am old, my husband is old, how can this be?" Then the visitor spoke again, as if hearing her private thoughts. Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At that moment it became clear. This was no ordinary visit. God himself was speaking. Pause for a second and think about that question. Is anything too hard for God? Sarah denied laughing, afraid, but the moment stayed with her. A promise had been spoken again, clear, direct, undeniable. As the visitors prepared to leave, Abraham walked with them, and then God revealed something serious. He said that the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah were filled with great wickedness, and their outcry had become very strong. God was going to judge them. Now remember, Abraham's nephew, Lot, was living in Sodom. This wasn't just a distant problem. This was personal. And this is where Abraham does something bold. He steps forward and speaks to God. He says, "Will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city?" Abraham begins to plead, not for himself, but for others. Then he goes further. What if there are 45, 40, 30, 20, 10? Each time God responds with mercy. If I find even 10 righteous people, God says, I will not destroy the city. Think about that. Abraham stood in the gap, asking for mercy, and God listened. Now the scene shifts to Sodom. 2 angels arrive at the city in the evening, and Lot sees them sitting at the city gate. Immediately, he urges them to come to his home for safety. That night, the city reveals its true condition. A crowd gathers outside Lot's house with harmful intentions. The situation becomes dangerous quickly, but the angels intervene. They protect Lot and his family and warn him, "Take your family and leave. This city will be destroyed." Imagine the urgency, the fear, the confusion. Lot tries to warn others, but they don't take him seriously. At dawn, the angels urge Lot again, almost pulling him and his family out of the city. They give one clear instruction: run for your lives. Don't look back. As they flee, destruction falls on Sodom and Gomorrah. Fire and judgment come upon the cities. But then, something tragic happens. Lot's wife looks back. In that moment, she turns into a pillar of salt. Why? Because her heart was still tied to what she was leaving behind. Meanwhile, Abraham stands at a distance the next morning, looking toward the land. Smoke rises from the cities. The judgment had come, but Lot was saved. God remembered Abraham, and because of that, Lot was rescued. This story is powerful, and it leaves us with real questions. First, Abraham teaches us the power of standing in the gap. He didn't stay silent. He prayed, he asked, he cared. Second, we learn that God is both just and merciful. He sees everything, but he also listens to those who seek him. And third, Lot's wife reminds us of something deep. You cannot move forward while still holding on to the past. Sometimes the hardest step is not leaving, but letting go. So here's something to think about. Is there anything in your life that God is asking you to leave behind, but you keep looking back? If this message spoke to you, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoy meaningful, easy to understand Bible stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs encouragement today. Because sometimes one conversation, one decision, and one act of faith can change everything.